played since June, by the way, for one reason or another at Paris Saint-Germain. All set to go. Latest game in Group E in what is proving so far to be a World Cup of shocks. The latest, Germany beaten by Japan. Same group, these two, Spain, Costa Rica. Spain in the all-red outfit, Costa Rica. A change of kit for them today, wearing all white. And here's Jordi Alba, a 2012 European champion. 10 years ago, he scored a great goal as well in the final that year. The interesting thing is they picked Rodri to play, usually he's a midfield player, to play central defense.
I think it was a case of just get your best players on the field for Luis Enrique. This game is going to look like what you're seeing right now. Costa Rica pinned in.
Sort out of possession there, and this is part of the Spain trademark. If you don't play the way that the coach Luis Enrique wants, you won't be anywhere near the squad. They will press high. They want to play the whole game in the opposition half of the pitch. Torres. Who is dating the coach's daughter. He's in the team.
Yeah, that's depends on what you believe, but for one reason or another, he's in the team.
I'm sure for totally footballing reasons, not to keep the peace in the Luis Enrique household. Corner kick, early corner kick for Spain, which went above the head of Laporte, who'd come up from the back, the Manchester City defender, who's changed allegiance in recent times from France to Spain. He never got a look in with France. He certainly is with Spain. Here's Rodri. I think Alexi said in the studio that Spain will try to condemn Costa Rica to death by 1,000 passes. That's their usual style. Aspilicueta of Chelsea. Torres with another incisive looking run. Dani Olmo over on that side, winning the ball here. And the experienced Calvo to get it away for Costa Rica. Costa Rica have won 3 times on the opening day of the World Cup in their 5 campaigns, including beating Uruguay 3-1 on their way to the quarterfinals in 2014. That one really sent reverberations around the world at the time, because that was a peak Luis Suarez in that Uruguay team. Costa Rica, as we expecting, defending deep.
These are really important moments when Joel Campbell comes in. Hold the ball or draw a foul. The less time you have to spend defending in your half, the better for Costa Rica tonight. And if they have the opportunity where Spain drop off a little bit like now, how long can you keep it?
Trying to get Fuller in behind. And that will be part of the Costa Rican plan as well, to just maybe catch Spain playing too high. It's a gamble that Luis Enrique is prepared to take. Whether it works in the later stages of this competition, should Spain get that far, well, we're about to find out over the next month or so. Busquets picks a lovely ball to Asensio. Here's Torres. One of 5 Barcelona players in the team. And then Pedri with a lovely angled ball and a wonderful chance for Dani Olmo, which he doesn't take. Glorious ball.
Really special from Pedri here. Clipping it over the back line, and Olmo's going to want that one back. Just contact, hit the target. You don't have to put it in the corner, just hit the target from there.
Will they live to regret that moment that Costa Rica were undone, unzipped? He's the man who's turned them round. Luis Fernando Suarez looked like they were going out in the qualifying stages. They only won one of their first 7 matches. Then they won 6 of the last 7. Got 4th place in the CONCACAF qualifying group. That got them a playoff against New Zealand, and they won it 1-0 here in Qatar. And it's the same referee as well as that playoff match, Mohammed Abdallah of the United Arab Emirates. It's interesting, already Olmo and Torres switching wings quite a lot.
I think they'll have the freedom to basically go wherever they want tonight. Put the Costa Rican backline under pressure in a myriad of ways. Wherever you find the space, go find it.
Again, Costa Rica unable to keep the ball. Contreras on this occasion has come into the side. He scored against the United States in the final game of the qualifying group. Costa Rica won that 2-0. But the situation was that all the US had to do was avoid a 6-goal defeat. This time Torres had gone back out to the right-hand side. Former Manchester City player was transferred to Barcelona for $60 million, but he hasn't made the starting lineup that often at Barca. Pedri, really artistic youngster, rather more feisty, but very talented Gavi alongside him. Pedri again, you can see a pass like that. Picked out Alba with that one.
That looked like a handball from here, Ian. I'm curious if they checked that.
No appeals, were there? I wonder if that was in the optical illusion department. Doesn't look like there's any sign of a check. There's Olmo again. Inside to Pedri, who will be 20 on Fridays. His last game as a teenager. He's already had some career. Comes from the Canary Islands, lovely part of the world. Headed up to Olmo, who's missed that big chance already for Spain.
Ian, one of my concerns for Costa Rica tonight was when they transition, when they win the ball in transition, do they have enough firepower to really go hurt Spain? And what they've done is interesting. They've started Joel Campbell up top. Basically, they're giving him a free roll. He can walk around. He's pretty lazy. Walk around and relax. And then when the ball turns over, go try to make a play.
Pedri to play this one in. And they've gone close again with Asensio sliding the ball. He hoped towards the corner, but inches wide.
And the other side of that coin is that because he doesn't defend, you're basically defending with 10. And this is what happens, is you can get picked apart by such a good team in Spain. Just wide from Asensio.
Early agony for the Spaniards, who are bossing the ball as we thought they would be. It's interesting that this time Luis Enrique, he didn't pick a single Real Madrid player for the European Championships. Must be a first for any Spain squad. There are 2 in this squad, and one of them, Asensio's in the starting lineup. The other's Dani Carvajal, who's on the bench. I think he did have quite an acrimonious departure as a player from Real Madrid, Luis Enrique. There are reporters in Spain who think there's a bit of leftovers from all of that. Picked up again by Pedri. Much involved. This is Azpilicueta. Torres. So far, Costa Rica, just 8 passes completed. And they've got it. They can't keep it. It's going to require a lot of concentration from them. Here's Aymeric Laporte. Manchester City teammate Rodri. Busquets trying to play one round the corner. Mistake by Calvo. Nearly let Asensio in. And again, Costa Rica wasteful with the ball. Olmo, you have to feel if that trend continues, there will be a price to pay. Gavi to pick it up. Only 18. Seeing some angles that other players wouldn't see here. Olmo, the stylish stuff, trying to thread that through. Olmo's in here, and he'll put Spain ahead. Dani Olmo, he didn't waste that chance. Spain 1 up. Well, they've been playing brilliantly, and now they have a payoff, Landon.
And it's what they deserve, Ian. Costa Rica's midfield four just getting overwhelmed by Gavi, Pedri, and Busquets. And as the ball comes centrally here, the running from Olmo is so good. First touch, clever, shields his body against Duarte. Watch this touch here, Ian. Shields his body. Duarte has to foul him and concede a penalty, or let him go and concede the goal. He chooses the latter. 1-0 Spain.
Dani Olmo, the Spanish international who's never played for a Spanish club. He left Barcelona when he was 16 before he'd broken through as a senior. 5th international goal in his career for Dani Olmo.
And this is what makes Gavi so special. It's the little clip of the ball. It doesn't come off perfectly clean, but a little scoop into the run of Olmo. And his class showing through early.
And Gavi setting it up, just recently voted the golden boy of European football. That's open to any players under 21. And he finished just ahead of England's Jude Bellingham in that particular little contest, previously won by Pedri. And a chance maybe for Costa Rica to get forward. Oviedo. They just need a spell where they can keep the ball for a minute or so. It hasn't happened that often. Martinez and then Fuller trying to work something. They haven't got Joel Campbell into the game. He does know his way to goal. Campbell, survivor of that 2014 famous Costa Rican run. Let's bring in the third member of our team, Rodolfo Landeros.
Thanks, Ian. I was told Morata and Carvajal were benched due to a cold. They missed a couple of practices this weekend. They were not fully fit. This is why Azpilicueta and Asensio took their place in the starting 11. And also, Luis Enrique chose midfielder Rodri to play as a center back due to his height. He's 6'3" tall, as opposed to Eric Garcia, who is 6 feet tall. And this isn't the first time he's deployed the Manchester City player here. He also used him in the back against Portugal in the Nations League and the recent friendly against Jordan as well.
Thanks, Rodolfo. Yeah, Rodri's a cheery personality, and I think he'll be just grateful to get into the team anyhow, anyway, anywhere.
Can thank his parents for those extra 3 inches over his competition.
Pedri again. Gavi just taken out of it rather cynically, and you'd think 9 times out of 10 that would be a yellow card.
Looked like a yellow card for me. Could claim it's a tactical foul or just a hard foul, and early set piece chance here to make it 2.
I think Calvo can count himself extremely unlucky there, because that looks a yellow card to stop an attack all day, all night long. Spain don't look too concerned, though. They've got the early breakthrough. So Costa Rica's first staging post would have been to get through the first 20 minutes and frustrate Spain. That hasn't happened. Pedri again, this time looking for Olmo's run. It's a bold run. Young Jewison Bennett, who's only 18, plays in England for Sunderland, for whom he's already scored.
Costa Rica did a good job defending that set piece. Obviously, Spain saw something they wanted to try to exploit. But these are big moments for Costa Rica. If they can take their time, put players up the field, they're not going to get many chances tonight, Ian, through the run of play. So you get an opportunity like this, good service, go attack the ball.
Joel Campbell has come deep to take charge of the set piece by the look of things. Is he going to take it? Yep, he is. Up towards Calvo, who wins the header. And Tejeda flags up, though, and that will be the end of that little Costa Rica foray forward.
Good job by the Spanish drop line here, holding. It's really difficult to do. We've got to stay disciplined. They let Calvo run offside.
A reminder that coming up next on Fox, Belgium taking on Canada in their opening match. Canada's comeback to the World Cup. I would imagine the entire nation will be at a standstill to watch that one against the talented, if slightly aging, Belgian side. Another shock? Who knows? Is Busquets again? Busquets won the World Cup in 2010. Gavi was 6 and Pedri 7. Probably weren't allowed to stay up to watch. Olmo looking for the 1-2. This time it's broken up by Yeltsin Tejeda. The midfield player with that name because his mum heard the name of Boris Yeltsin, the old Russian leader, on the radio and thought, well, I'll call my son that then. We don't know his views on that.
Yeah, careful what we wish for.
Again, they're looking for that long ball in behind, hoping that Contreras can do something with it.
I'm curious how long Luis Fernando Suarez is going to stay in this 4-4-2. Joel Campbell, don't want to pick on him, but he just doesn't do a whole lot defensively. Contreras is trying. He's running around. But that midfield three of Spain are absolutely destroying Costa Rica right now. And you would think at some point he's got to find a way to get another number in the midfield to help there.
We've seen Argentina lose their first match here in that sensation against Saudi Arabia. Worth remembering that Spain, when they won the World Cup in 2010, lost their first match against Switzerland and recovered to win the whole thing. They did it that year, scoring only 8 goals as well. Bit of a mistake. Campbell. Getting a few more white shirts forward. Costa Rica. Playing in their 3rd successive World Cup. They do very well, and sometimes they've been a thorn in the side of the US, as Landon will know. Good ball spread. Oviedo would come forward on that side, the former Everton defender. Just beginning to play a little further up the pitch, but of course that might leave gaps behind. And Pedri plays it to Olmo again. Those two much involved in the early going here. Here's Piliqueta. There's almost a swagger, really, about the way Spain play. They pass it for fun, don't they? There's Piliqueta to play it wide to Torres, who's out on the right-hand side for now. Equator again. Chelsea players have a little bit of difficulty with his name and have taken to just calling him Dave. Busquets. Here's Jordi Alba. Oh, and Asensio! That is a wonderful strike. He took it early, and the Real Madrid man puts his team 2-0 up here. Great hit, wasn't it?
It's just too easy for Busquets right now, able to turn and face forward. He can pick out any pass anywhere on the field. And if you're going to allow him time to turn, you're asking for it. He clips this ball out to Jordi Alba. Asensio clever with his time. He just waits, checks in, and this is such a difficult finishing. And to hit this first time, it's bouncing, not along the ground. Just makes good contact. And you have to think a sharp, informed Keylor Navas probably saves that. But nevertheless, a great finish. 2-0 Spain.
Well, that's a good point you make, Landon, really, about Keylor Navas, who is number 2 now to Donnarumma at Paris Saint-Germain. He's had a bit of a back injury as well. No action the last 5 months. And he'll be thinking, well, he'll know, as good an effort as that was from Asensio, he probably should have kept it out. Only a second international goal, that, for Marco Asensio. When he does score, they tend to be pretty good ones. Landon's going to tell me there's no such thing as a bad goal. Here's Gavi. Ferran Torres.
Costa Rica really have to be careful here, and this could get out of hand quickly. The one thing they don't want to do if they want any chance of advancing out of this group is you can't allow 4, 5, 6, 7 today. You have to keep it as tight as possible. I can promise you before the game, if it finished 1-0, 2-0, they can live with that. But if they start coming after Spain like they did there, Spain will just pick them apart in transition. They have to be careful.
Yeah, it could get messy for them. Must be wondering who they upset when the draw came out as well. Spain, Germany, and as we've seen, a quite talented Japan side keeping them company in this very tough group. I think we're seeing a bit of an early statement here, aren't we, from Spain as well?
Well, they also would have watched, or at least know the score of the Germany match, and now they have a real opportunity to go first.
On the near post, Rodri that attacked it. Campbell hacks it clear, hopefully. Jordi Alba looks to get Spain going forward again. Contreras, he's the striker. They've got it off him, that high press. That's what they do. Asensio. This time they're managing to get that behind, but it will be just a goal kick in the end.
Good job counter-pressing by Spain. And not only do they have a chance to go top of the group, but finish top of the group is really important.
In the second round of games in this group, Spain do play Germany. Jordi Alba again. Real Madrid player on the score sheet for Spain. Costa Rica winning his 153rd cap today. And his dad was in the 1990 team when they first played in the World Cup. And you might remember, or older fans will, they beat Scotland in their very first World Cup game with a goal from Juan Cayasso. Scottish fans haven't forgotten it, I tell you that. Bennett. He's going to try and make some runs down that left-hand side, but Spain will have done their homework on him.
That's great defending by Rodri. Put out the fire right away, get the ball again and go again.
The problem for Costa Rica here is they're not managing to put any pressure on the ball at all.
If they're not able to press with their front two, which they're clearly not, you might as well have another number in the midfield to help you. And you're doing neither right now.
Yeah, go 4-5-1. Just congest that area a little bit more.
I might go 2-8-1. Oh, that didn't add up. 2-7-1. I didn't finish high school, sorry.
Well, the coach would take more than that if he could. 4 matches tomorrow on Thanksgiving on our Fox networks. Gavi trying to make his way through, and Costa Rica get it away, but it's quickly picked up by the all-red shirts of Spain again. Having things all their own way here. Gavi. Gavi's had an extraordinary career, really. Nobody had really heard of him about 16 months ago. He got quickly into the Barcelona team from the academy and quickly into the Spain team as well. And he can look after himself out there. I think last season he picked up 9 yellow cards in La Liga. Pedri. Olmo scored the first goal. Alba. What a cameo from him. Crowd like that. Going through their party tricks now. Ferran Torres, Asensio. There are a lot of tongue-in-cheek quotes usually from the coach Luis Enrique, one of which was, "I think I'm the best coach in history. Reality tells me otherwise, but I've got to believe it."
You can tell your kids that. They probably didn't know different.
Well, they do believe it, I'm sure.
My son tells me all the time that I'm better than Messi and Ronaldo. So you sure about it? He said, yeah, you are. All right. Yes, I am.
Have you got out the tapes to show your kids?
No, I don't want them to know the truth.
Didn't do too badly, though, did you? Here's Pedri looking for the 1-2 around the edge of the box. They all want to get in on the act here. Surely Alba goes down and it's a penalty. Referee, no hesitation. He was only about 4 yards away.
Yeah, Mohamed Abdallah had a good view of it. No complaints from Duarte. So you have to think probably was, and there it is. Kick on the heel there from Duarte. And it goes from bad to worse for Costa Rica.
Any doubts for you, Mark Clattenburg?
No, from the images that we can clearly see, he's tried to make an attempt for the ball, and then it was his second movement, kicks the back of the leg, so therefore it's a clear penalty, and the VAR will confirm that decision.
Thanks, Mark. Ferran Torres is going to take it. In normal time, no penalty saves in the long Costa Rican career of Keylor Navas. Maybe a little surprisingly, he's got over 100 caps. Torres with a chance to make it 3-0 already for Spain.
Maybe down the middle here, Ian. Panenka.
I'm not going to second guess. Well, it was a cheeky one from Torres, and it is 3-0. Little feint, and it was as cool as you like. The coach is pleased, and so is his daughter with that one.
Well, with all the talented players on this Spanish roster, you have to think, well, why has he been chosen? This is why. Calm. Give Keylor Navas a pillow, put him to sleep, roll it in the other side. 3-0 Spain. And perhaps, Ian, he got on the field for footballing merits. But maybe the penalty taker is decided by a relationship he has with the coach's daughter. You never know.
That was his first penalty for Spain. Well, we're joking about it, but it's worth reminding people that when Spain beat Germany 6-0 a couple of years ago, Ferran Torres got a hat-trick, so I don't think there's too much doubt that he's around on merit. The danger for Costa Rica here is that this could get embarrassing, and they would be as good as out of this World Cup almost before they started. Azpilicueta won't be able to keep that one in play. You can see the instinct of the Costa Rican players. Their pride and ego damaged is to chase this. Calvo spreads the play to Joel Campbell. Who stays down. Campbell, a former Arsenal player who was on their books. They kept loaning him out. He was caught by Dani Olmo. And the Spanish fans are absolutely loving this. Here at Altamara tonight in this splendidly appointed stadium. Borges with the free kick. It fell for Campbell. He wasn't really awake as it fell. Plays the retrieval mission. And there was just a little moment there, but it was only a moment.
Again, Spain do a good job holding their line, discipline there. Joel Campbell just not really paying attention on the first ball or the second ball, and correctly called offside.
Don't forget, the second game for the United States will be on Black Friday. The much anticipated England v US match. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. That is on Friday. The US back in action after drawing their first game against Wales.
Who are you going to be rooting for, Ian?
I shall be watching the game with interest.
Touché.
Well, you know the story with that, Landon. I'm English. I always want England to do well, but I've got a big soft spot for the US. Having covered the team so many times, including when you were playing. Laporte. Alba drops it in behind. Almost on the chase here. There might be another opportunity for Spain here. They want to be clinical. They want to be ruthless. But that time it was well defended by Martinez.
And he whistled him for offside. I really hate this, Ian. The only thing that can happen in these moments is someone can get injured. If he's offside there and you know he's offside, just put your flag up.
The counter-argument to that, of course, is that if a goal is scored and it proves that he was onside, you've got a situation, haven't you?
Well, then leave the flag down if you're not sure. Let the play out, and they can go to VAR if there is a goal. But he knew he was offside. He was waiting to put his flag up. Don't make the guys sprint 40 yards.
And that is the worst-case scenario, that somebody gets badly injured in what is essentially a redundant piece of play. Here's Laporte. Jordi Alba 33 years of age now, 15 trophies with Barcelona, including when they last won the Champions League in 2015. As you will have heard and read, the club with all kinds of financial difficulties to overcome in this phase of their development. But what do you think if you're the Costa Rican coach really faced with this? Because they won't be the only side who struggle to deal with Spain.
No, of course not. On talent, Spain are a much better team. But again, I'm just shocked that they're allowing the ball to be played into Busquets. I mean, Busquets is the guy who can hurt you over and over and over. And it's so easy for him to receive the ball in there, face forward, and dictate play from there.
Busquets has been around the Spain team for 13 years now. Here's Benet, the teenager. Got 2 in the recent game against South Korea. But he's still quite raw, and Spain quickly shutting the door on him. Calvo picks it up. Here's Tejeda. And Borges, who sits at the base of the midfield. Fuller inside. Better from Costa Rica. Where can they take it? Oviedo. Benet. Gets his cross away. Contreras. This is Costa Rica's best move of the game. Oviedo to play it in. They're trying to be brave here, Costa Rica. Campbell to spread it. Benet to hook it back in again. Rodri with the clearance, and of course the counter will be on because a lot of white shirts were pushed forward there for Costa Rica. Gavi. Aspilicueta, who was nowhere near the Spain team for a couple of years and then suddenly called in, and he is the first choice right back, and a splendid servant for Chelsea, who find themselves down in 8th place in the English Premier Division at the moment. Busquets again, just like you said, in all kinds of space all the time. Alba. Just make it look so easy, don't they? And of course it isn't. Aspilicueta. Often just one touch, two-touch football.
I think Busquets has a bonus in his contract for the number of one-touch passes he makes. He just does it for fun. He doesn't have to. He just does it because he can.
But he has been one of the great players of the year, hasn't he? Probably the best in his position. Looking for that ball onto the near post, not quite this time. For Spain, who, one thing you can watch with them, it's slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. They'll change the tempo of the attack. Busquets looking to invent a little ball away by Martinez, who actually learned his trade at the Aspire Academy they have here in Qatar. So he knows the territory quite well. This is Fuller. Borges to Campbell. Spread by Duarte. And then Oviedo, but the whistle goes. But better from Costa Rica over the last 5-10 minutes or so.
A little better stretch of possession, and they need to do that for as long as they can. Just keep Spain off the ball for as long as possible. It's not easy to do, but when you do have it, there is some room to play. Interestingly, from Costa Rica, Ian, is they haven't solved the Busquets problem, but what they have done is gone to a back five now. They brought Martinez inside, Fuller to right wing back. So they've got more numbers centrally, which will help them, centrally along the back, which will help them in the box, but they still can't get to Pedri, Gavi, and Busquets effectively. So I think it's still going to cause them problems.
Is there a better midfield at this tournament than Gavi, Pedri, and Busquets?
Yeah, hard to imagine, right? They complement each other so well. Busquets is calm with his passing.
Ferran Torres, flag stays down for the moment. Back to Asensio. Finds it hard to get starts at Real Madrid. There's always talk that he might leave, or he's in what's my future chats with the management, or have been over the last year or so. Still around. Here he is looking to make hay again. This Fuller, who clears it this time. It's coming back though. Asensio. He can hit them from out there as well. Seen him score some spectacular goals in the Champions League.
Just following up on the midfield partnership, Busquets is calm, moves the ball. Pedri shows up in little pockets all over the field, and then Gavi has the real special qualities. So when you have three guys who complement each other well, you can basically do everything on the field with those three profiles.
Spain purring. How will the better teams counter it, Landon?
You can start by having more of the ball, right? So the more time Spain have on the ball, the better they are. And there's an impact that this has over the course of 90 minutes too. When you have to defend for this long, you get into the 60th, 70th, 80th minutes. Even if you keep them at zero, eventually they're going to break you down. And there's an impact over 90 minutes that it causes. So that's one. Two is you have to hurt them the other way. And you know, Costa Rica doesn't have players of the quality of some of the bigger teams in the tournament. But Spain will have a lot of problems created by high-quality attacking players. And you would imagine they're not going to play Rodri there the whole time when they're playing the likes of Germany. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, you'd think one of the natural defenders, something like Eric Garcia or Pau Torres, would maybe get a game. But here comes the latest attack with Busquets at the heart of it again. And Pedri. Of course, they know each other's games back to front, those three. They all play for the same club. They do it every week. Spain coasting. Nearly half-time. It's been a very difficult watch for the Costa Rican supporters. Team from that beautiful part of the world trailing. Again, a lot of space for Spain to work in. Torres is attacking this one, not quite right the pass that time. For a wrap of all the World Cup highlights, special guests and in-depth insight, it's World Cup tonight you can look forward to with Kate Abdo, Mo Edu, and America's World Cup fan Chad Ochocinco, who gives us his fan experience every night. It's tonight, midnight on Fox. Campbell. 5 minutes of added time at the end of this one-sided first half. We Talked about the shocks that we've had at the World Cup. No sign of one here.
Ian, did I see that right? 5 minutes? This seems like 1 minute in the days when I used to play. We've seen 8, 9, 10, 14. Only 5.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, really, why it is that long. We've had no substitutions. Have we?
I think there
no
has
injuries.
to be a minimum of 5, or else someone gets fined.
There is going to be a lot. I think we heard that before the tournament started at the referee's briefing. So I think this is going to be the norm. A lot of football. They don't want the public shortchanged. Rodri has got a fair amount of recovery speed, which he normally uses in midfield for Manchester City. Bringing it out of defence again with the whole game in front of him. I wonder what the completed passes stat is for Spain here. .493. Yeah, well, somebody's keeping account so far, against 70 from Costa Rica.
Well, when we were talking in the hotel, I put the over-under at 700, so it looks like they're going to blow through that.
Yeah, they're going to blow through that before we're finished tonight. What is it going to be for the tournament? Nice ball. Rodri to play it forward, and they don't quite get it right for Asensio. Just overhit the pass. It's almost a collector's item, really, the way Spain have played.
Just got their wires crossed a little bit there. But a fantastic pass from Rodri. Set them loose.
Here's Laporte.
To your point earlier, Ian, it's slow, slow, slow. But once you break the lines, the midfield 4 of Costa Rica, then you accelerate and try to hurt them. And Spain are masters at that.
Luis Enrique was asked, might you change style at any point? He said, why would we do that? It made us champions. Tends to have something of a playfully provocative relationship with the media. Claims not to read any of the newspapers as well. He said, well, I know more about football than anybody writing about it, so why am I going to read it?
It's fair.
Doesn't go so well with all the journalists, of course.
As we head into halftime, normally in a club season where there's 30-plus games, both teams would say, okay, 3-0, game's put to bed. In a tournament like this, where goal differential matters, Spain will not take their foot off the gas. You have to think Costa Rica have very, very little chance of advancing, but they need to keep it respectable.
He might not here, because here's Pedri running on again. Another chance for Asensio. Duarte just did enough there to make sure he didn't have the angle he wanted for the shot.
And this is what I'm talking about, Ian. There's still a lot to play for. So as you go into the second half, Spain need all the goals they can get. They know that Japan and Germany have very good chance to beat Costa Rica. If Germany beat Spain and Germany beat Costa Rica by a number of goals, they can still finish first if Japan don't get all the points. So there's a lot to play for here.
Here's the latest stat printout for those who like that kind of thing. 62 passes in the last 3 minutes from Spain. It is going to run into thousands, but the goal count is 3. Half-time.
The 2022 FIFA
Sergio Busquets. Costa Rica wearing all white here, getting us underway at the start of the second half. Remember, Spain played Germany next in this group, and Germany will badly need the points from that, having lost earlier on today against Japan, the latest surprise at this World Cup. How does Spain play this, Landon, now? Do they play it ruthlessly, look to pile up as many goals as possible?
I said it before halftime, they have to, because if they lose to Germany the second game, they're going to need all the goals they can in the goal differential column. So they have to keep going. In normal circumstances, you'd sub 2 or 3, maybe even at halftime, but they need to keep going, get the goals, and then they can get guys off the field. That being said, this game has been so easy physically for Spain that it'll feel like after 90 minutes they'd only played 50 or 60 probably from a physical standpoint.
I should tell you that Carlos Martinez is the player who has gone off to make way for Waston. Pedri to pick it up. Luis Enrique, the coach, says in terms of pure talent, Pedri is the best midfield player in the world. There are other elements to it, other than just the pure talent. But he's a heck of a player, isn't he?
Gavi looks pretty special to me too, but I would take either one.
Pedri was voted the best young player of the European Championships last year. Here's Laporte. Jordi Alba. Can Costa Rica maybe just get a little more pressure on the ball? Might they think of just parking somebody near Busquets a little and put him under some pressure, always showing for the ball like that. This time giving it away, though. Costa Rica trying to work something quickly on the transition, but it has to be better than that.
The problem is you're so tired from chasing, and that first pass is hard to make when you're tired. Plus, you have no options up the field because everybody's back defending. So it becomes this vicious cycle.
Look at this run from Azpilicueta. It's opening up Asensio. Claims a corner. He thinks that took a deflection on the way through. The referee does not agree with him.
Again, just too easy. Azpilicueta can travel 40 yards with the ball, roll it to the top of the box to Asensio. He'll want that one back. But another easy entrance to the top of the box for Spain.
Asensio might not have made the squad had Mikel Oyarzabal been fit, the Real Sociedad player who, sadly for him, has been recovering from a cruciate injury. ACL, not ready. Heartbreaker for any player, that. Never want that to happen in a World Cup year, or most others come to that. Here's Campbell. Oviedo cuts it back, and the net couldn't get rid of the attentions of Pedri. Here's Asensio again. Pedri, look at the way he just took that in his stride. Olmo. And this is without the man who has got most goals of any player in their squad, Alvaro Morata of Atletico Madrid. He's on the bench, having scored 3 times at the Euros last year. Asensio preferred to him, and justifying his selection with a goal here. Rio Ferdinand, the former England defender, told me a great story about Busquets. Once in a Barcelona-Manchester United game, he went over to take a throw-in and had a conversation with Busquets. He said, "Oh, you're Rio Ferdinand." He said, "The guy who just belts the ball down the pitch." just to wind him up. Rio didn't do that, but
I think compared to Busquets, every player just lumps it down the pitch.
yeah.
Right on cue, he gave it away. This whole commentator curse thing you talked about is real, huh?
It's real. Yeah. Always comes back to bite you, London, I promise you.
A team like Spain want to have the ball the entire match, and little things they do help them do that. 2 throw-ins now on this side of the field. They have a set they run. In this case, they got Ferran Torres free, so they can keep possession and go again. And you think of that as something that's not that important, but over the course of 90 minutes, if that leads to 50 more passes each time, that wears down a team again and again and again, and gives you more opportunities to score.
There's been a lot of discussion in Spain about adding some real dynamism and ruthlessness to go with all the silky football. That might be the difference between turning a lovely team to watch into World Cup winners. Gavi, Torres are getting plenty of time in which to operate. Fuller came across and did some good defensive work there.
That was excellent defending from Fuller on the back post, staying responsible, interjecting at a crucial moment.
Keisha Fuller, who plays for the 29 times champions of Costa Rica. Herediano. Corner kick for Spain. Didn't think they'd take a long corner. It's not the Spanish style. Prepared to build like this. Asensio, Olmo cuts it right across. It was very well defended by Waston. A couple of near things for Spain, and a misunderstanding allows Azpilicueta in down that side. Smooth as silk from Spain. Pedri. Cut out that time. Just looking to get that final ball right. I'm sure it will happen again. Here it is again, that two-touch football. It's like some training game for them, isn't it, this?
Yeah, it really looks like it. The challenge when you play against Spain is their spacing is so good, their movement is so good, but then technically.
Gavi, Torres tries to thread away through and scores. They let him turn, they let him get the ball back, and he puts the ball into the back of the net. His second of the night, and Spain's fourth. Too easy.
Well, finishing up what I was saying there, their spacing is good, as you see here. Their movement is good here to run into depth. But then the last piece of that equation is technically they're so good. Watch Torres, touch, touch, turn, bang. Back of the net, 4-0 Spain, and they are absolutely scintillating right now, Ian.
Well, the question was who would get the goals for Spain if they were going to make a deep run. Maybe Torres. He's done it before. Luis Enrique absolutely loving this. A perfect dream start to the World Cup for the Spaniards, and probably attaining even more relevance in terms of the group with Germany's defeat earlier on. Coming up next on Fox, Belgium taking on Canada in their opening match. Belgium still with a lot of good players, notably Kevin De Bruyne. Our first glimpse of him. Have they just got a little bit too old as their golden generation? Just got a bit too aging. We shall find that out. Here, Spain turning on the style and wanting more by the look of things too. It's Olmo cutting inside. And Torres is on a hat-trick now, and he was looking for that one, but Oviedo is there to get it away. Alvaro Morata to replace Torres. Now, old school thinking would be, please don't take me off when I'm on a hat-trick. When I'm enjoying myself.
You don't say that to your father-in-law, though, do you?
Not yet, of course.
Wait till they get the ring on the finger, and then you can say whatever you want.
Carlos Soler is coming on to replace Pedri, and Morata to replace Torres. So they're just wrapping those two in cotton wool for future assignments. A luxury they can afford. Navas elects for an unusual looking punch, only as far as Alba, who thought about the shot. Rodri stayed in there, almost on the back post. Roston gets it away from him, but this now has become a damage limitation exercise for Costa Rica. It's all they can do.
It is, and that's why Kendall Waston was inserted into the match. Good in the air in moments like this. Good responsible defending from him. But you feel like there's still more goals coming for Spain.
Referee just wanting a word. Waston doesn't seem terribly interested in the conversation, does he? Got rather more important things to do, like trying to defend against this multi-talented team. Rodolfo has more on Torres, 2-goal Torres.
Well, Ian, I mentioned at the pregame how Luis Enrique decided to turn himself into a streamer during the World Cup, and he was asked if you could be reborn into a player, who would it be? And he said, Ferran Torres, otherwise my daughter would kill me. And when Ferran was asked about this, if there were more pressure, he said, no, there is no more pressure. We have a perfectly understandable and communicative situation where we know and how to differ when he's my father-in-law and when he's my coach. So there's no problem at all.
Thanks, Rodolfo. I think Landon's already married them off.
I'm trying to think, would it be harder to have your father-in-law coach you or your father coach you? I mean, I played for Bob Bradley, who coached his son, Michael Bradley.
Yep.
I'm trying to think what would be dicier.
Feels a bit awkward, doesn't it? But I guess look what happened today.
I would say whatever they're doing is clearly working. Yeah. So I'll just shut up.
They're professionals, aren't they?
And there's that set again from Spain, just to easily get out of pressure.
I think the advice for Torres is just don't break up.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Here's Azpilicueta. Asensio, lovely ball round the corner. Looked a hint of offside about it. Flag stays down for the moment. Boston, who's done pretty well. That ball does stay in play there. Morata it was who'd looked to cause some mischief. He'll want to be getting in on the scoring act.
And he had almost streaming down the left side if he just played it across the goal mouth. Would have been a tap in, but he missed it.
Morata did score against Costa Rica last meeting. These two countries had. Spain won that 5-0. It was only a friendly back in 2017 in the lovely town of Malaga on the southern coast of Spain. It's where Picasso came from. Busquets to Gavi. Hard to believe he's only 18. Two more changes for Costa Rica. Off comes Contreras, who hasn't been able to get into the game. Zamora to be introduced. Alvaro Zamora, who plays for the current champion Saprissa. 4th cap only for him. And the Costa Rican legend that is Brian Ruiz, who you will have played against, Landon, on many occasions, comes on for his 145th cap. And big goal against Greece. And Costa Rica went on to win that round of 16 game on penalties as well. And only went out on penalties to Netherlands that year. Here is Ruiz. He's classy, isn't he?
He's such a good player, and he has been for such a long time. And it's fun to watch him at 37 years old, still out there competing. And he is absolutely a legend for this Costa Rican national team.
And two more changes coming up for Spain as well, who must know they have the points in the bag. But it's fun to watch them anyway. I think when you watch a team like Spain playing, you understand why Pelé called it the beautiful game. I think the problem was for them, Landon, 4 years ago, though, when they were playing against Russia and went out, they had as much of the ball that night as this, but they couldn't create a thing doing it and went out on penalties at the World Cup on that occasion. And then Morata, lovely run, ball into the channel very quickly.
Morata's gotten in some good positions. Good running off the back shoulder of Calvo there. But twice now the final product has let him down. He's got a lot more quality than he's shown in those two moments.
Jordi Alba, they're going to save his legs. He is 33 now, still fit as a fiddle. And a Spain debut coming up for Alex Balde, the 19-year-old Barcelona player who was called into the squad at the very last minute because of an injury to Valencia's Jose Luis Gaya. Good young player. Busquets is coming off as well, and Koke will just go and play his role. Koke of Atletico Madrid, playing his 5th major tournament here. He's another player who's made a comeback for Spain. They left him out for a couple of years after what happened in Russia at the last World Cup. All these players, so many midfield players, there was no room in the squad for Liverpool's Thiago Alcantara. That is some player to be leaving out, isn't it?
It's just incredible. When you look at some of these countries, you know, we saw England live, the depth they have. Spain, Brazil, we've yet to see. I think they had 8 or 9 forwards on their roster, all of whom could play for every national team in the world. France, it's just remarkable how much talent these teams have.
And of course, they've left out Manchester United's goalkeeper, David De Gea, not rated in the top 3 by Luis Enrique.
Can you imagine a day when a starting goalkeeper at Manchester United wouldn't be picked for his national team in a World Cup?
I think the thinking of Luis Enrique is he doesn't think David De Gea can play out from the back using his feet effectively enough, that he's just a great goalkeeper at making saves.
Well, if the rest of the tournament looks like this, they don't need a goalkeeper to make many saves. Do this, distribute well.
They've almost not needed a goalkeeper tonight.
I think you could have played there tonight.
Don't get carried away. Is Balde. Bit of a dream for him. In at the last minute into the squad to play in the World Cup. What a season it's been for him. It's a breakthrough year for him at Barcelona. At times he's been preferred to Jordi Alba. Yeah, that did go out of play. Four matches tomorrow on Thanksgiving on our Fox networks, FS1, starting with Switzerland against Cameroon and Uruguay against Korea. On Fox, Ronaldo and Portugal facing Ghana, followed by Neymar's Brazil squad facing Serbia. Coverage starting at 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific for another very busy day of World Cup football, including some huge names. Cristiano Ronaldo, who's come to a mutual agreement that he will be leaving Manchester United after his recent explosive interview. Ruiz to spread it wide to Oviedo. Flag up.
This absolutely drives me crazy. Oviedo staring across the back line. There's no need to be offside there. So frustrating. Costa Rica finally get out, have a chance to go forward, and he's just not paying attention to where the rest of the back line is.
This will have been a draining day as well for Costa Rica. They've had to do so much running without the ball and so much work trying to keep tabs on Spain. He's almost had a fine game. Took an unusual decision with his career. Gavi. Yeah, Olmo decided he'd take himself off to Dinamo Zagreb, away from Spanish football. Now that challenge, yeah, it's going to be a yellow card for Calvo, right in front of the referee as well. Was on the hefty side, wasn't it?
It was. Mohamed Abdallah has been very compassionate with Calvo today. This, I think, 3 tackles could have been yellows, and only one of them, this one, ended up in a yellow.
Mark Clattenburg is watching. What about that challenge, Mark? Was it yellows right?
Yeah, once you come in with speed like that, yes, his studs are low. Yes, he's caught the player on the foot, but the speed, that's what the referee would have looked at. He's lunged for the challenge, and for me, that clearly was a reckless foul. And, you know, it wasn't with excessive force, so that's why the referee went with yellow card. But I agree with Landon. He's been lucky once or twice, so this is 3rd time lucky.
Thanks, Mark. There's Asensio's goal, taken quickly. That's what caught Navas out. Probably should have saved it. Asensio coming off the Real Madrid man. He'll be happy with his night's work. He's got a goal. And an interesting player coming on, Nico Williams, the 20-year-old from Athletic Club Bilbao, whose brother will be playing for Ghana, Iñaki, at this World Cup. He's a bit of a flyer out wide. And it's a luxury they can have now. It's Olmo again. In a truck, and then walked barefoot through parts of the Sahara, ended up in Spain in the Basque Country eventually, having been allowed to settle there and get asylum there. And the 2 boys were born and grew up to play for Athletic Club Bilbao. You have to be born in the Basque Country to play for that club, and now they're both at the World Cup together.
My kids complain when they get a juice box instead of fruit snacks. His parents trekked across the desert.
Yeah. This is an amazing story. Both much loved in Bilbao. Here's Rodri. So many passes on all the time for everybody in a red shirt. Take your pick. Everybody comfortable on the ball. Nico Williams has gone out to the right wing. Scored his first goal for Spain in one of the prep games against Jordan recently. What a moment for that youngster. He's obviously been told to stay out wide and they'll get the ball to him.
If you think about what it takes to become a national team player for a country in the World Cup, there's so much that goes into it apart from technical ability, tactical understanding, your physical abilities. There's a mental piece to it, and to imagine two brothers have that ability is really special and unique in this sport.
Last of the action for Celso Borges. He's replaced by Brandon Aguilera, the 19-year-old who's on the books of Nottingham Forest. So they loaned him straight back to play in the Costa Rican League. Wins his 5th cap. Has the reputation of being something of a mercurial playmaker. If he can get on the ball in this game against a team hogging it like Spain, he'll be doing very well. Will be an education for him, though. Spilicueta has been excellent. Gavi, lots of room, trying to pick the right ball, which he doesn't do on this occasion, in fact. Brought up by Fuller. Morata. Olmo was asked a lot by Morata's ball. He kept the ball in. Looks for the reverse pass. Williams had come in from the side, hoping to profit. Brian Ruiz. Remember him watching him in the Premier League with Fulham. He could always pick a pass, and he did then as well to Campbell, but it flags up. It looked offside, was offside. Aguilera thought he might put the ball in the net anyway.
So much class there from Brian Ruiz. Been doing it for years. Joel Campbell, step offside.
I'm sure a lot of you have been asking or wondering, when do the United States play again? Well, it's on Friday, Black Friday, against England, who started with that 6-goal win against Iran. Coverage beginning 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Massive occasion that for the US team. Balde, what a run from him. Morata's got an opportunity here. Navas does well enough to get something on it. Gavi has a goal at the World Cup. 18 years old, and can put his name up in lights as Spain romp away with this game.
Excellent run by Balde down the left side here. Good timing with Morata. I said earlier that his final ball lacked quality in the first 2 chances. This one doesn't. Gavi arriving late. Take a bow, young man. Inside, a kiss of the post. 5-0 Spain. And the round is on.
Yeah, great technique from young Gavi. I wonder if there might be just a check on whether Morata has strayed offside by an inch or two in the build-up. So far, we're not getting anything about that, so no, it's okay. Quarter of an hour to go. Spain leading by 5 goals here against Costa Rica, who've had so many memorable days at World Cups, but this isn't one of them. Bigger test lie ahead for Spain, but from what we're witnessing here, you'd imagine that they're destined for a deepish run.
We saw England live, we watched France last night, and now Spain live. Brazil yet to play, Belgium yet to play, but these three, England, France, and Spain, have really laid down a marker early.
Not over yet either. Koke. They really have toyed with Costa. Knocked on by Tejeda, but again the ball is given away. They look dispirited, Costa Rica now. It's only 3 of 27 matches in the last 3 years. One of them reasonably recently at home against Switzerland, who, by the way, are in Brazil's group. Dangerous opponents. Serbia might be as well in that group.
That's a fun group to watch. That's going to be really interesting. Serbia with Vlahovic and Mitrovic, 2 world-class strikers. Could cause a lot of problems.
Free kick will be given. Look at the completed passes, 875 passes attempted and 822 were completed. That must be some kind of record in terms of a percentage, but I think he shows as well how little pressure on the ball Costa Rica have managed. Waston getting into a row with Gavi, who's not one to shirk an argument. Referees have been told to clamp down on this kind of thing. They want the right kind of image for the game. Everything seems to be okay. Handshake between Koke and Brian Ruiz, who've seen it all before. Referee just wanting a word. He does have the reputation of being the best referee in the Arab world, Mohamed Abdallah from the United Arab Peru game, but other than that, he did things perfectly. I think he's handled this well too. Nothing much in it, is there, really?
He handled it very well. Number one thing with officials is don't get caught up in the emotion of the game. We're already emotional as players. Crowd's emotional. Can you bring the level down and just calm everyone down? And I thought he did a really good job there.
I think Gavi was probably born emotional. I think they probably have had to have a quiet word here and there with him, although you wouldn't want to affect him too much. It's a lovely ball across the face of goal. Brilliant from Fuller there. Saved an almost certain goal. Great piece of work, Keisha Fuller. There have been a couple of heroic blocks in this second half from Costa Rica, and they've been needed. Otherwise, it could be worse than it is.
They've given up 2 goals in this half, but they have been better defensively. Waston has helped them a lot, and Fuller, since going from right midfield to right back, has made a couple really important plays to keep Spain off the board and make this even worse.
If Spain do manage to top this group, they would play the runner-up in Group F. And that's the Morocco, Croatia, Belgium, Canada group. Too early to say who might end up second there. We'll see. Things begin to take shape, though, and Spain clearly here today are kind of taking charge of the group with this big goal difference. Japan winning as well. Big win for them against Germany. Might be another one here. Morata, and Navas makes the save.
Morata really good with his timing again, just a half step offside, but he's so clever in his movement. Again, when Spain goes slow, face forward, and they accelerate, and they are masters at it over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's been impressive, really, the timing of the movement with the attacks. Oviedo is coming off. Experience for these Costa Rican players. It's part of the highs and lows of football. They had that great run in 2014, and I remember Oviedo scoring a great winner for Everton at Old Trafford. I also saw him break his leg playing in the FA Cup at Stevenage. So he's seen it all in the game. A lot of these fellas have. Well, the older ones anyway. And he certainly has. Enrique, a coach whose life has been touched by triumph and family tragedy. A reminder that for a wrap of all the World Cup highlights today, if you missed anything, special guests, some in-depth insight. It's World Cup Tonight you want to go to with Kate Abdo, Moedu, and America's World Cup fan, Chad Ochocinco. He'll give you his fan experience. He's going to a lot of the games. Tonight at midnight, it's a lot of fun on Fox. Spain keeping up their record here of never having lost to a CONCACAF team at the World Cup. This is their 5th such meeting. As for Costa Rica, they just have to go away and regroup, have a talk, and think, well, there are still 6 points to play for in the group.
They've never lost to a CONCACAF team in the World Cup, but they have, however, in a Confederations Cup.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And Mr. Dempsey and Mr. Holden back in the studio are well aware of that.
Great win. A great win.
You know, when you get old like me, you have to remember those good times.
Yeah, exactly that, of course. Too many teams watching this that would relish the idea of confronting this Spain. Nico Williams these days, there was a bit of a laugh and a bit of a chuckle, because I think his farewell match for his club is timed for the World Cup weekend, World Cup final weekend. I think some optimists were hoping he might have to cancel it.
That would be unthinkably optimistic at this point.
Five 0 to Spain. Gavi, who's got the latest goal, is going to get the free kick. We might get more of an idea about Spain when they play their next game against Germany. It might be more of a test of Germany, a fired up, pumped up Germany, who will badly need the points after what happened to them today. Stunner really ahead, lost to Japan.
These results over the last 2 days, with Argentina and Germany losing, have set up two really tasty matchups in the second game. Argentina-Mexico Mexico got a point from their first game. They need to win. And now Spain, Germany.
Here's Balde. Olmo. Waston won the header.
Not to mention U.S. England. So 3 really good second games. Brazil, Belgium, etc. still yet to play. But already 3 really, really interesting and important games.
Yeah, you could say the plot is thickening. There'll be 1 or 2 twists and turns in those plots as well. This is Matarrita, recovered from injury just in time to be part of the Costa Rican squad. Williams on the chase. Waston to get it away. Former MLS player, and Matarrita has come on with Cincinnati. Armchair ride for him, really. Switch to central defence. Costa Rica haven't really managed a big question all evening here. Here's Koke to Gavi. Down the side. And for Morata to try to run onto. He wants one. He desperately wants one. Alvaro Morata.
I'm not sure why he stopped here. I thought he was going to get to the ball, but he just stopped.
Coming up next on Fox, Belgium against Canada in their opening match. Canada's long-awaited World Cup comeback, causing great excitement among the Canadian supporters.
One of the biggest of which is my father, who grew up in Nova Scotia, Canada, and I can assure you the Canucks, our friends north of the border, are very, very excited to be back in the World Cup.
Yeah, they've got a good team. Top the CONCACAF qualifying. Could they shock Belgium? Here's Nico Williams trying to dance through on the right-hand side. I think Costa Rica just want the final whistle now, don't they? Been a very, very tough night for them. Soler. Been doing well with Paris Saint-Germain. After 6 good years with Valencia. Nico Williams, great ball in, might be another goal here. There is another goal. Soler is the man who's got it, picked up the pieces, and Spain make it 6. First time they've done that at the World Cup since 1998 against Bulgaria. An assist for young Nico Williams as well.
Balde and Nico Williams have provided something different to this Spanish team that has so much technical quality. In addition to their technical quality, they have a dynamic ability to run and create space and create opportunities by themselves. You saw Balde do it on the 5th goal, and now you see Nico Williams do it on this goal. Unfortunately, no pura vida tonight for Costa Rica and their fans. One they'll definitely want to forget.
The bad news for Costa Rica is somebody's just put up a sign saying 8 minutes of added time. And that's time, really, that Spain could get another. Carlos Soler with the goal. There was a time, apparently, in his life when he was not that interested in football, and his granddad had to bribe him to play and join a club by offering him a Game Boy. Campbell's crossfield because his granddad wanted to. Granddad saw he had a bit of talent to go and play and develop his talent, and I think it's developed quite well.
It has. Actually, that's what I do with my kids. Go outside for a few hours and then you can watch a video.
You have to do these little deals, don't you? There's Koke who can fit straight into the passing patterns, and the squad's been picked with that in mind. They can just move one piece out and move another piece in if they get an injury or a suspension, or they just want to rotate. Williams with a good ball to Gabby. Morata thought about the shot, now he will, and he'll score as well, and he goes to 7. He's in on the act. It's an utter humiliation, this, for Costa Rica. They've been ripped to bits. Most goals ever scored by Spain in a World Cup match.
Morata's first couple moments, not great technically, but this one too is so clever. Uses the inside of his foot, passes it into the corner. Nico Williams again showing his quality to start the play. 7-0. Looks like an NFL score, Ian. You wouldn't know much about the NFL, but looks like an NFL score.
And what I do know about is that Morata's had his critics over the years, but his Spain record now reads 58 caps, 28 goals, which is extremely respectable. A rare touch for the goalkeeper, Unai Simon, teammate of young Nico Williams at Athletic Club in Bilbao. And he has been a virtual spectator. It's almost cruel, isn't it?
I played one game in my career in Brazil. We had a sort of makeshift Olympic team against the Brazilian Olympic team. We lost 7-1. And I can't tell you how much. And oh, by the way, you have Japan and then Germany next.
Yeah. And not too long to recover before the next game either. Tough one to take for the Costa Rican fans who've taken the trouble to come here to Qatar for the World Cup. But they probably feared the worst once they knew the draw. Often Spain have only been in third gear, haven't engaged top, but they've still managed to pick enough holes to score 7 goals. And Gavi's just allowed to waltz through. There might be another one. On to Soler again.
He is so fun to watch, Ian. Just dances his way through the Costa Rican defense. Soler, I want that one back. Didn't get good contact on it. It was nearly 8.
Gavi's been brilliant, isn't he, among many others in the Spain team here. He's only 3 months past his 18th birthday as well. He was scoring for Spain when he was 17 years and 304 days old, the youngest scorer. Is Balde. He looks pretty good too, doesn't he? Just come on in the left back position. That's another alternative if Jordi Alba is unfit or wants a rest. Yellow card shown to Campbell, I think.
Depth will matter over the course of what Spain hopes are 7 games. It's the contenders, the real contenders, can use all of their roster to rest guys. Guys are on yellows, it's no problem, and you really want to be at your best as you hit the quarterfinals, semifinals, and ultimately the finals. So having this much depth and quality really helps Spain, and then getting a game like this that is, you know, basically a training exercise really helps you as you go down the line physically.
The punishment is not quite over for Costa Rica. They now have to face a free kick. So much of the game has been played in and around their penalty area tonight. Fizzed across. Soler took it. Be very, very happy with his goal. Can never take that away, can you? A goal at the World Cup. Landon knows the feeling once or twice.
I do. Unfortunately, my first goal ever was against Poland. We were losing 3-0. Couldn't even celebrate it. Much better scenario today for Soler to really soak it in and enjoy it.
But that Japan winner today was a bit like the goal you scored against Slovenia in 2010 from that angle. That is, well, a final whistle that puts Costa Rica out of their misery. Luis Enrique's team were sensational here, scintillating, silky. First time they've ever got 7 in a World Cup match. Olmo, Asensio, 2 for Torres, Gavi, Morata, Soler. The goals just kept on coming. Spain taking charge of Group E here, beating Costa Rica by 7 goals to 0.